Okay. So I'm going to have you use StackCrunch on your exam. So before you begin the exam, it's going to say have StackCrunch open in another window. So these are going to be exact same directions you'll have. So you're going to be using a couple of data sets from the shared data set for the course on the exam. So I'm going to show you how you find them and everything. So it says a nutritionist was interested in developing a model that describes, this is the wrong instructions. Let me get rid of those instructions. Let's ignore that. So first load the data. I was different data. I changed this. All right. So I want to look at the StackCrunch data. So data, load my groups, look for the pie chart, and then it's US presidential data. So in StackCrunch, you do data, load, from my groups, pick the pie chart, and if you scroll down, you'll see US presidential data.
Yeah, we can't see what you're doing.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's because it's a pop-up. Let me do it again. Let me do it again. So data, load.
Still can't see anything.
I forgot to hit the share button. Data, load from my groups. Do you see the pop-up window?
Yes.
Okay. Click the pie chart. Do you still see the pop-up window?
Yeah.
That says data from StackCrunch. Okay. So scrolling down, I'm looking for the presidential data, which is right here. You'll have a different data set that you use for the final, but just to give you an idea, this is how you're going to find the data that you need for this question. So then I'm going to go back to the Word file. Okay. So, and I also give you a little screenshot of what the data should look like, so you're sure you're in the right data set and you don't worry about that. So a researcher wants to use this presidential data to see if your age at inauguration predicts the age at death of a president. So we're going to calculate the correlation coefficient, etc. We're going to describe the correlation, find the least squared regression line, interpret the slope, interpret the y-intercept, etc. So it's all chapter 4 stuff that we just did. So I'm going to go back to StackCrunch and I need to do correlation on age at inauguration and age of death. So I'm going to do stat, regression, simple linear. I am looking for my age at inauguration and age of death. And I click compute. I'm going to bring this over here, make it big. Okay, so my correlation coefficient is here. So 0.6058 or 0.6059 or 0.606. I'll use 0.606 to make it easy. All right.
On the test, are you going to specify how many decimal points you want it rounded to?
No. I guess I could. I could go back and fix it and make it tell you. Sure, I'll tell you. It's easier for you guys if I do that, so I will. Okay.
Would you mind, I'm sorry, going over just the steps again? There was a lot of background noise in my house. I had to turn my microphone off.
Sure. Okay. Can you see StackCrunch now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you do stat and regression, simple linear. And then you choose your X variable. Let me get rid of this junk. The X variable was age at inauguration. And my Y variable was age of death. And I compute. That's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So that gives us 0.606. So that would be my correlation coefficient, 0.606. So R equals 0.606. Choose the correct description of the correlation. Is it strong positive, strong negative, medium positive, medium negative, or weak positive, weak negative? What would you say?
Medium positive.
Medium positive. Okay. Find the least squares regression line. So we go back to StatCrunch. And my regression line is age of death equals 5.388. So I'm going to do age of death is 5.389 plus 1.185 times age at inauguration. Everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay. So we're just taking it right from here. All right. So age of death. No, yes, age of death equals 5.389 plus 1.185 times age at inauguration.
Did you say times the age at inauguration?
Yes. So you can just write it next to it if you want to put parentheses or a star, whatever. Okay, I'll know it's right either way. If you look at it in StatCrunch, they just write it next to it. So that's fine. So now we want to interpret the slope, give the slope and describe how it relates to this model. So we remember the slope is the number that is next to our X or our variable. So we're going to have slope equals 1.185, and that's the change in Y over the change in X. So I'm going to write this as a fraction. I'm going to divide it by 1. Change in Y in this case is the change in age at death, and change in X is change in age at inauguration. So here we go. We're going to say as X changes by 1, so as inauguration age increases by 1 year, the age at death increases by 1.185 years. Questions? Okay. Interpret the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is the number by itself. So 5.389. And a note to you, I wouldn't write this on my test, but that's when x equals 0. Now, what does x equals 0 mean in this one? It means the age at inauguration is 0. And we don't let people be president when they're babies or not born yet. So this is impossible. So it's not relevant in this model.